Graffiti, where art and the urban experience become one. The underground art from the streets. You've seen it on subways, along the road, on buildings. Spray painted images that have stayed with you, changed you in some way. Graffiti, the visual experience that is hip hop.
People have been doing graffiti since Romans and Mayans and different civilizations, did graffiti. But as far as how it became tied in was because people in the 70s were starting to paint graffiti trains in New York, and it was so in your face and blockbusters and colors and characters that it was a perfect backdrop for breakdancing and DJing. So once DJing and breakdancing came out, graffiti just naturally fell into that as one of the elements.
And I think, all the elements have this attitude that we all carry that's really hard to put a finger on. But I think it's just like all the other art forms, it's about being loud and being anonymous at the same time. A lot of these guys who do graffiti, like, you'd never know who they are. They could be regular Joe Schmo, but, if you look at their street cred and their little tag name, they go under their, some of these guys are worldwide, superstars. It's a ridiculous thing, but you'd never know. They probably just work at some low-key job.
Graffiti allows people, I think, to express themselves because there is no guidebook. There's no rules and there's no limits and there's no laws to it. I mean, if you want to paint on a triangle, anything you want to do, anything, it's possible. If you can touch it, you can do it. So I think it's limitless. So anything that's in your head, and if you get down with it and you really care about it, you're going to learn how to put that on the wall. As opposed to telling somebody or working for somebody, putting your opinion into their artwork or whatever. This is all about you. You're doing exactly what you want to do and what you see and what you feel. And if you're in touch with yourself, you're going to express that and become considered an artist as opposed to a writer.
Graffiti gives you that billboard to say what you want to say. I recently did a piece that was involved the war and all this, and to be able to put it up and have it go from 5 to 10 inches to 15 feet, 15 feet wide, by 10 tall. It really personifies what you have on your mind, where it isn't just a fleeting thought. It's something that's credible and tangible that you may not be able to necessarily touch and feel, but you can touch and feel.
Graffiti, like, what is graffiti? I would say graffiti is like that. Like I said, like one of the 4 to 5 elements of hip hop. Like, to some people it's not that important right now, but in the early stages, like in the 80s, graffiti, it was it. Like I said, you was doing 1 of 4 things. You was writing graph, you was MCing, you was breakdancing, or you were DJing. Like, one of those 4 to 5 things. So like it was like the arm to the body. It was the leg to the foot.
Graffiti is my lifestyle. That's what it means to me. It's pretty much what I live. It's what I do daily, whether I'm at work or on my own time. Pretty much it represents me as an artist. It's my being, that is my creations comprised of graffiti. Graffiti to me is basically what I live for as an artist. My mother was just, "What are you doing?" And I was just like, you know what, I'm going to do something with this. And I kept pushing, and I've been going for 15 years strong now. And I've been able to, make a profession out of it. And from that, it's gotten me a lot of exposure as an artist. I've gotten a lot of gigs out here in Los Angeles, and it's gotten me around throughout the country and as well as international.
We just really got to make do with what you got. And I already had my outline ready to go, so I just needed a place to put it up, really. And that was it. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices in the dimensions of your piece and how you want it to be, and colors, of course. But, you know, it always works out. If you got a wall, I'm pretty sure there's enough space to do what you need to do. With me, I try to, like, not lately, but I always felt that every piece should be totally different from the last piece. So there's no, like, one style that I do. I try to change my letters every single time. So the style is constantly changing, and if that's a style, then that's my style. Changing.
I'm trying to tell a story, and each one of my pieces is a story of how my life is. I mean, it's just a complete fraction of how it is. You have a piece, you do a piece someplace, and you leave it. You just forget it, and maybe it might stay up for, 5 years, and, people can appreciate it over the years, or it might get gone like the next day you paint it. You never know what you do, so you just keep painting more and more and more. Sometimes you find a wall in the city that you're just like, yeah, I should be painting that. And then sometimes, if you go with the real actual hard graffiti element, you're gonna attack the wall, whether permission or not. It just depends on what you really want to get out of where the space is. It's all about taking up space. Usually, I start out with markers or pens or whatever. You take your tags or whatnot. Then you go to spray paint. You start doing simple tags with spray paint. Then you start doing the bubble letters. You're doing like quick style, like, simple rounded letters. Then after that, you go to straight letters. Straight letters are really, really readable letters that go, Joe Schmo on the street can read it. Then you start going to more like semi-wild style pieces. It's more better looking straight letters. Then you have wild style pieces. Then you eventually move to, higher grounds.
Graffiti is a form of expression, of course, just like anything in hip-hop. I love graffiti, man. I mean, graffiti is hip-hop. I mean, that's just plain and simple. I mean, graffiti artists are a special breed because a lot of those guys are putting their life on the line, I mean, I guess some of the breakdancers could be putting their life on the line as well, but it's all about getting your name up, and it's all about getting respect from the street. And that's the art form that is still in the street, and that's what those guys look to the street to gain most of their respect. I mean, when you're walking down the street and you see somebody's tag up, and then you're walking down the street and you see their tag up again, you're like, whoa, this guy's really doing his thing, and how did he get that way up there? That's crazy. How did he get it on that bridge like that? And you know that the only way that this guy could do that was to dangle himself from a certain position and write his name up. And much respect to those guys still. They are hip-hop.
When I go up on a wall, the first thing I do is I make sure to observe the environment, because I want to see that my piece fits and it's designed well into its space. The first thing I'll do is sketch it out, and I'll stand back and I'll look at it and I'll see how it fits with the wall, make sure that it's the most visible that it can be. So choosing the spot in itself is a big part of why I'll go up in a certain area. I'll definitely try to design the piece into the wall so it looks natural, so that it can be seen as best as possible.
The B-boys, the freestyling, physical expression of art. These dancers show no mercy and take no prisoners when battling in competition or over turf in the streets, replacing violence with dance as art and self-expression. The breaking crew, the energy, the lifeblood of hip-hop.
what can I say about b-boying? It's you know, I think it very much parallels with hip hop the way it is. It was very makeshift, the whole style and the form of dance. I mean, these are things kids are just making up. You know, they bring linoleum out on the street, you know, and I think b-boys also did impart a lot of the style that we see a lot in hip hop now. You know what I mean? And kids think of it as like it's cool, it's dope now, but you know, fat laces were, you know, I don't think it was something that they said it's dope because these laces are wide. You know what I mean? I think it really started from like, these are all the laces I could get, you know, and I'm gonna make it dope. You know what I mean? Like baggy jeans were like, you know, they didn't buy them 3 sizes too big. Those are their big brother's jeans that you know, their parents couldn't afford them to buy another pair of jeans, so they have to wear hand-me-downs. And instead of being embarrassed about it, they're like, oh man, this is dope. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And that's, you know, that's what I think every element that makes this culture different is just, it's such a, take something that already exists that's looked at something else, and you know, let's put our twist on it and make it stylish. You know.
B-boying, dance, breaking, whatever is a form of expression, you know, and that's one of the 4 elements of hip hop, and it's definitely at the center of what hip hop truly is, which is expression. It's all art. I mean, if you look at what hip hop comes down to, it's art and poetry. You know what I mean? Whether it be with whether it have to do with words and lyrics, or visual art like graph, or visual art and I don't know how you would say it, like. Dance is an art form in itself. You know, it's all about freedom of expression. That's really what hip hop is.
The b-boy is, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's just expressing yourself through your body and just creating art with your body. There's a lot of foundation moves, and most of which go straight back to the 70s. You know, pretty much almost everything has been done to an extent. You know, as you know, years go by, you know, most b-boys just take something that's been done years before and just push it a little bit farther, but it still has that same foundation. And then the creativity part is the way you put the moves together and then adding your own character to it.
The b-boys are the ones who actually spread the message that the MC and the DJ had. They're like the missionaries. You know, because without the b-boys coming to the parties and the breaking and all that, people in other places would have never known about the MCs, about the DJs. So I think their role is like the missionary. They took it and they brought it to all these different places. Like I go to other countries like Croatia, Slovakia, Slovenia, and they're writing graffiti, they're breakdancing before they were even MCing, you know? So yeah, the b-boys are like missionaries.
You can't go out there and waltz, you know. You can't go to a club and start, you know, square dancing and stuff. I mean, you could, but it's not culturally, you know, it's not how it's done. Cowboy music and country made square dancing, whereas, you know, orchestral music made waltzing and stuff like that, where hip hop was the same thing. It evolved its own kind of dancing and everything. It's all one art form. I mean, you could have a sick show where you have b-boys, a dope-ass DJ killing it, you know, hip-hop music, and then somebody doing graffiti and everything all in the same room, and it just being, you know, blow a lot of people's heads away, you know.
Because breaking is kind of like a mud of dance. So, like, freestyle is just a little, like, differently. It's not as complex. It's just more like, just like how you move is how you move. Like, you know, you're just gonna move like that. If you really want to take it to the next level, then you try breaking. It came out in the 80s, died off, or actually went underground, and then now it's just starting to blow up. I mean, you see Verizon commercials, you see tribal gear coming out with things. MTV sponsors a lot of stuff. I mean, it's just all kinds. Now it's starting to blow up. It's starting to be like how skating was. Breaking is just soon. It's just on the same verge.
Being a b-boy is how you express the hip-hop music. You hear the beat, you get down to the beat, you just express it. You dance away everywhere you want, as long as you just rock the beat. I've done competitions, I've done shows, I've done fashion shows, I've done videos, I've done everything you probably can do. Whenever I meet somebody new and they ask me if I still break, they're like, didn't it die in the 80s? I'm like, nah, it's not on TV no more. It's everywhere. It's worldwide. Breakdancing is just the way I express myself. Keeps me out of trouble, gives me a nice little workout, helps with the honeys,
B-boys express themselves through their bodies, and they do that by dancing. It's not the kind of dancing that you would see at a nightclub with people that are dressed up and stuff like that, and you're trying to express yourself through movement, and the music is a strong motivation behind that. The kind of music that the DJ's playing.
I don't know, it's just something when you watch it, it just clicks and it's like, man, I want to do that. I really want to do that. So, I tried it with a couple of friends who wanted to learn, and we started teaching each other. There's no way to really express it unless you have something that you do or you love that just, just gives that spark in you. And just to have that adrenaline of just learning one move and then learning another move and then thinking to yourself, hey, I can connect these two moves together, and then it just takes on just the crowd and the feel and just, it's the feeling of dance. It's really been great because I met a lot of people over the course. Just people everywhere, like from, Japan, California, New Jersey, Seattle. When you're in this, you meet people, who share the same love for it. And those people are from, different places, different backgrounds. And, you get to, socialize with them, meet people, have connections with them. To do just other things and other events. And, it's just changed my world. Just open up and broaden my, eyes and horizons.
The DJ scratches beats, mixes sound, spins rhythm, keeps the party pumping all night long. With two turntables, he's the master, the creator, the force. Inspiring others to rap, to dance, to paint, to express themselves and who they are. The DJ, the center of it all.
You got the battle styles, guys that strictly do a lot of cuts and a lot of beat juggling, and they'll, the competitions like that go 5-6 minutes, and they'll just do cuts, a lot of different creative styles, create their own new scratches, stuff like that. You got a lot of house DJs that spin, obviously, house music, techno, and they'll, do long mixes of just 2 records for minutes and get the crowd hype on that. There's a style like mine, which incorporates a little bit of scratching, a little bit of mixing. I may not be the best, scratch DJ in the world. I may not be the best mix DJ in the world, but I combine the two of them and make up my own style. It's funny because back when I first started, I played a lot of breaks, a lot of techno, but it really wasn't my style, and I got more into the urban, more into hip-hop. And I was the only white cat, one of the only white guys DJing, and I go into these clubs, and people just look at me. I'd walk in there and be like, what is this guy doing? And then I'd get up there and start doing my thing, and they'd be like, oh, okay. So, it was really cool. So, just rap and hip-hop in general really influenced me. And there's so much to DJing. It can take you from battling, mixing, club style, open your own club, become a club owner, go down the road to production, get your own studio, take it to doing audio for TV. I mean, there's so many different routes you can go with it. DJing's making a big comeback. I mean, it was huge back in the day, back when I started, and kind of died down a little more, but now it's coming back up, and all these DJs and these mixtapes, and everybody's, like, each artist has a DJ attached with them, like Eminem, Green Lantern, Outkast, Cutmaster Swift, all these, huge groups got these DJs attached to them, so DJs is getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
The beautiful thing about hip-hop is that it's, if you really trace how it started, it was really a bunch of ghetto guys, who I think were deprived of music programs and creative outlets, and they took to the streets themselves. They went through their mother and father's record collections and took turntables out of their mom's crib and makeshifted and made speakers and made mixers and just stole music, power from the park and just set up their own parties. And, it's funny you said you looked over here and saw Kenny Rogers, and that's a perfect example of what really hip-hop is. You know what I mean? Like, we take from everywhere and put our own twist on it and kind of like, put it into our own terms of what's dope or what's fresh, and I don't know, it's a beautiful thing when you see all the elements come together. It's such a natural fit, and those are my favorite kind of parties, when you see the b-boys and you hear the music and there's an MC and they even set up canvases for the artists to get busy, you know what I mean? That rarely goes down, but I've been lucky enough to be at parties and seeing that go down properly, and it's a beautiful scene.
I first started DJing. I had a turntable and a tape deck with a realistic mixer. You know what like when them Radio Shack realistic mixers? And I had a belt drive turntable. I used to kill my mother's turntable. She used to be like, "You are tearing my needles up." You know what I'm saying? But that's how I learned how to mix records. I learned how to mix records from a tape deck and a turntable. And I would mix my records and try to figure out how the blends would go and slow the turntable down to speed the turntable with my finger. Or, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't control the tape deck. So I'm just, you know what I'm saying, that's how I learned how to blend. And so when I finally got to interning at radio stations like in Houston, I interned at a 97.9 The Box, I was able to, that's where I really learned how to hone my skills as a DJ, because I understood blending from another aspect, because I was, it was poor. I had to, I had a tape deck and a turntable. I had to learn how to do my best with that. And then so when I got two turntables, it just came like that. What makes a good DJ is to me personally, the ability to identify style. You know what I'm saying? For them to have their own style. Number one. Number two, the ability to, I'm the kind of DJ, I like old school. Like, I'm an old school kind of guy. Like, I like blends. I like how DJs blend records together. Like, sometimes, you got new school DJs who drop the record and they put another record on. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or they got their little style, how the way they do it. You know what I mean? And, I'm not hating that. That's dope, how they do it. But I like DJs who can make go from one record to another record with ease, or, you know what I'm saying, who take one part of a record and just, freak it, you know what I'm saying, back and forth, you know what I mean? Like, I like the old style of DJing, you know what I'm saying, as far as that goes, you know what I'm saying? But you got to have your own sense of style as far as when they hear a tape or you're on the radio and they hear, some songs being blended, they can say, "Oh, that's DJ such and such, such and such."
From a turntableist point of view, like, we can be any instrument. I mean, we can cut a horn on wax. We can scratch a horn on wax. We can scratch drums. We can scratch pianos, make it loop by backspinning pianos, like, back and forth. It's just endless, unlimited things that we can do, as far as, like, being a turntablist.
The DJ really was at the base of how hip hop got started. It's the idea of taking a record and taking the best part of that record, the one part of that record that everybody just goes nuts to on the dance floor, and taking two copies of that record instead of just letting the whole song play and then you get to that one little hook and everybody goes nuts. They just play that hook over and over and over again. So on top of that, they need an MC to get the crowd hype on that one, what you call the break, and that's really like the birth of hip hop, right there. You know what I mean? The DJ is always there to push new music out, push the whatever music out to the masses, to make them dance and make them break and to kind of give inspiration. You know what I mean? What I try my best to do as a DJ is to work the crowd, number one, but stay true to what I feel is good music, and stay true to doing as much as I can technically with the instruments that I have. 9 out of 10 people don't really understand fully what can be done with a turntable, where you can manipulate a sound. It's not just moving it back and forth and turn the volume on left and right, but there's just so many different combinations of what you can do with a turntable that it makes it an instrument. And that makes us musicians, depending on how we use them. DJ is definitely a performer. At least I like to think of myself as a performer when I get up there.
What makes a good DJ? Man, passion, being focused, having talent as well. I mean, you got to have some kind of ability. You got to have rhythm. So definitely, you got to have the heart for it. I think, you know. I used to play drums as a kid, so and my father's a blues musician, so that was always kind of in the house. You know, the music and percussion, and as far as me, that evolved and that helped me with my DJing skills. You know, just being on time, rhythm, and you know, being a perfectionist kind of helps, but that it also drives you crazy too. This is what I want to do. I love playing. I love party rocking for people. I love performing. I love the crowd when I hear it roar, and I love showcasing. I love do what I do in the videos and stuff. And so it's really an all-around blessing thing, man. I could not ask for anything more right now. I mean, if I wasn't doing this, I really don't know what I would be doing, you know. And music, I just love it, and I love the people's, you know, responses and stuff. It's the greatest feeling. Hip hop is the shit. Hip hop is authentic. Hip hop is real. Hip hop is grimy. Hip hop is me.
The role of the DJ, like I said, in my particular lane is to get the party hot. Like, my job is when I come on in the club from 12 to 4, I keep the party hot. I make sure that you're sweating enough so that you go to the bar and you get you something to drink. I make sure if you're that guy trying to talk to that girl, that I'm playing the right records, make sure she has a good time so you get the number. If you had a bad week at work, I make sure for those 4 hours that you rocking with me, that you forget about that bad week at work. Like, that's my job. Like, you know, all that other stuff is irrelevant. My job is to make sure you have fun. Now, I got started, I used to steal all my family members' record collection. Like, I go to my mother, my aunt, my uncle, my pops, whoever, and I would steal their record collection. That's how I started. Can't do that now. Nobody has records except for DJs. So what I would say do is go to the record store, get the old school official mixtapes. You know what I mean? Get Ron G's mixes 1 through 9. Kick Free Old School 1 and 2. Get S&S's old tapes. Get the old school. If you're down in the South, get the J-Team tapes. Get Magic Mike tapes. And learn from the old school pioneers. So that way you lay your foundation. And then figure out what kind of DJ you're going to be. If you're going to be a club DJ, study club DJs. You're going to be a mixtape DJ, study mixtape DJs. You're going to be a battle DJ, study the battle DJs. And then, like I said, figure out your craft, learn it, and then try and come out into the world. A lot of DJs, they don't know their craft. They try and step in the wrong lane, and they end up playing themselves. And we are the world-famous Super Friends. When I say world-famous, I mean collectively we rock parties all over the world. 4 or 5 of us is on tour with Ludacris, Bow Wow. I'm on tour with Monica. See the phone blowing up right now. Jagged Edge, and like we literally rock parties all over the world. So right now, I'm the president of the company. My job is to manage the marketing of all 20 DJs, World Famous Super Friends crew.
Yeah, I love the DJ. Every DJ in America, Stat Quo loves you. Please keep playing my records. I love you all. You know what I mean? Call me. Call Zeke. Contact us. We love you all. Anything you need from us, we'll do it. We're at the DJ's mercy because the DJs are the ones that break the records, you know. They're the ones with the power, you know what I mean? While I'm here, they're there playing the record. So I'm affecting that area and I'm not even there. So that lets you know how crucial and important to the DJ. They can make or break your career. So the DJ is the man, you know. And plus they rock the parties, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They make the girls shake their thing, you understand me? A DJ knows what hot is when they get it. A DJ makes an impact, you know. A DJ rocks the party, you know what I'm saying? If you're not doing that, then you're not a DJ. You just play records.
I mean, the DJ is like to me, the DJ is the backbone, pretty much, because, like with my DJ, like, I paint the picture, but he's the frame. You know, he keeps everything intact. Like, when I go into one mode, he's right there to make sure that the ambiance and the setting is set. So the DJ's kind of like the backbone. Without that, you kind of like just holding it on your own. I mean, you look at any DJ from Run DMC, from Terminator X, from, you know, Fresh Prince, you know, Jazzy Jeff. I mean, those guys were always the backbone, you know what I mean? They weren't necessarily the upfront guy, but they were the guys that was keeping it all together. They was the frame, keeping the picture together, you know? So to me, like, the DJ is like the backbone. And now, I mean, today is more prevalent than back in the day. Like, the DJ is like, being a DJ, you can't be the guy like Mixmaster Mike, Q-Bert, you know what I mean, or Revolution, you know what I mean? You can't be the guy because, like, these guys have taken, like, turntablism to, like, a whole nother level. And that's different from DJing, like going to a party playing records. These guys, turntablism, like executionists, like, that's a whole nother level. So they've created a whole nother genre for DJing. You know, so the DJ, to me, the DJ is very important because that's the conductor. He kind of keeps everything together, keep everything in place.
The DJ is the start of hip hop. The DJ, whether anybody want to believe it or not, the DJ, if it wasn't for the DJ bringing these records out into the park that people never heard of and playing the B-sides and album cuts with just drum breaks and repeating it, there would be no such thing as hip hop. There would be, because the DJ provided the soundtrack for hip hop. So without that, there would be no, like, the MC would be talking to air, like he would be rhyming over air without the DJ.
He controls the show. He sets the mood, like, you know what I mean? He sets the pace. If he's whack, the whole atmosphere is whack. You know, if he's the bomb, hey, we're gonna have us a good time. They make their money, do their thing, and it's all from just 2 turntables. Everything I got, everything I own in my life, I only got from just DJing. I ain't never did nothing else. As a DJ, I always try to, like, balance myself, be well-rounded. Like, I got a little battle style in me, but I'm definitely sure gonna rock the party every chance I get. You know what I mean? And at the same time, DJing for a rap group, I mean, it's just, you got to show leadership. Sometimes it's more than just about my scratching, you know. My timing got to be right. I have to do some vocals, you know, like a lot of times we do shows, one of the guys might have laryngitis or something, you know, I have to do all the parts, you know, so I have to know that. And we deal with live instruments, guitars and bass players. I know all their parts. You know, I'm pretty much the director when we're on stage, so I kind of tell everybody what to sing and play, you know. That's the production side of me because, you know, I produce also.
as the executioners, what we're trying to do is bring the focus back to DJing, because DJing is the nucleus of hip hop. It's the nucleus of b-boying, breakdancing, graffiti. DJing is like the roots of it all, and DJing, I think, basically, from DJing, all these other ways of expressing yourself, hip hop wise, came about through DJing. So that's what we're here to do, is to try to bring the focus back to DJing.
DJ battles, at least for me, were more for fun. You know, at the beginning, it's kind of a challenge. You get up in front of a bunch of people, and you're going head to head with somebody. You're going, you know, up against 10 or 15 other people, and basically all eyes are on you, and it's kind of like party rocking in a sense, because everybody's watching you and all the attention's on you. But all of a sudden, you have to concentrate like every single skill that you have into 6 minutes. Or into 90 seconds or something like that, you know what I mean? It's just basically, it's a showcase of skill. And a battle, of course, just like how, you know, in hip-hop and with the MC, you know, hip-hop kind of started, like, with battles. If you look at battles back in the day, it's similar, and it's still going on now as far as on the DJ side, where you got, you know, this guy saying, hey, I'm better than you, and just showcasing your skill, and it actually elevates everybody else's skill around you. You know, if you're really good or somebody else is really good, you want to beat that guy, and that he wants to beat you, and everybody, in a sense, just starts moving up and getting better, you know, collectively as a whole. And I'm finding that, like, through the DJ battles, you can make a name for yourself. You know what I mean? I didn't start off that way, trying to make a name for myself, but it ended up happening that way. You know, I just had a good year. You know what I mean? I had a good last couple of years, and all of a sudden I have a name. And it's been a good way for me to kind of break into doing some of the gigs that I really want to do, which is to travel, you know, travel the world, which is what I'm doing now.
I just kept doing it, and year after year, doing more competitions for Dixie Dance Kings, and my name just getting more well-known within the pool, and then different people came in, like Nightclub and Bar and Pioneer and all these other guys, and they would see me do the competitions, and I started doing the Nightclub and Bar competition, the Pioneer competition, and got a few second places, a lot of second places, a few first places, and just kept going down the road. It's a pretty cool thing, because, I mean, something like that is exactly what I did, doing the competitions, getting started, getting some national exposure, which helps you launch your career and do building steps onto bigger and better things.
There's a certain attitude about hip-hop that you can't deny. You know, that every element, I think, too, there's a real element that's really involved with hip-hop that, you know, other musical movements or cultures don't really have, is the battle. You know, and for every element, it's a big way to pay your dues and get respect. You know, whether you're speaking, dancing, rapping, DJing, or graffiti. If you got any respect, you probably got battle scars, or, you know, you got notches on your belt from doing battles, whether they're at a house party, in a graffiti yard, or, you know, on a DJ battle tape, or just in some club, you know. And I'm starting to bear the fruits of all those battles I lost, I guess you could say, because I mean, it's given me everything I've got now. It's given me my crew, the Beat Junkies. It's given me my other crew, Dilated Peoples. It's just opened that door for me to, you know, it got me my job at Fat Beats. You know, I was a manager at Fat Beats Los Angeles when it first came out here in '96. Really just opened so many doors for me to turn it from a hobby, something I was passionate about as a hobby, and turn it into something that became my career and my life's work. So, and the foundation was battling, you know.
Oh, we'll definitely put them on the map. We'll definitely get them a job. You know what I'm saying? Get them a job quickly. You know what I'm saying? Get them a job with a rapper. Get them a job at a radio station. Get them a job at a club. Get them a job. You know what I'm saying? Like every DJ, you know what I'm saying, ultimately wants to get a job. A lot of DJs want to produce, stuff like that. But if DJing is your end, You know what I'm saying? Do that, get a job, work your way up. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of used to be DJs who are big time producers now. You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
Cool Mix 2004, your soundtrack to the streets. And a chance to earn respect in your hood and to express your version of hip hop. Come and battle or come take in the part. The best DJs, the driving force behind hip hop, doing their thing, laying down the beat. Looking for Cool Mix 2004 in major cities across the U.S.
Really, that's how hip hop started. Competition. It was who's better than who, who's the baddest. I'm the baddest on the mic. I'm the baddest graffiti. I'm the baddest beatboxer. Man, my crew of b-boys can outbreak your crew, or my DJ is better than your DJ. Battling has always been something in the whole. That's just part of hip hop. Hip hop is always trying to be better than the next person.
The thing about competitions is that it's not party rocking. It's not you're in a club. I mean, you're in a club atmosphere, everybody or whatever, but they're not there to dance. They're there to see you cut somebody else's throat. They want to see a tournament. They want to hear disses. They want to see tricks. So basically, with that art of DJing, you have to be prepared as far as your disses, your phrases. You know, you want to talk to that dude. You want to put him down. And then after you do that, you want to back up what you just said. So you want to have scratch routines. I mean, it's intense. It's very intense. It's very, it'll break you down if you don't really have the nerves for it. When I'm in a tournament, I go to win. Like, I go to win. You know what I'm saying? I don't go there. I don't want to come in second. I don't want to come in third. I want to go. I want the money. I want the trophy. I want the respect, you know. So with tournaments, it's like a cutthroat thing. But pretty much everyone's still cool, though. You know, everybody. I don't know, it's not a sport, but the sportsmanship is there. Everybody's cool with everybody else, and I mean, the love is there. So that's actually a good mutual thing where people aren't like, you know, too gun happy or anything, the DJ world. But we're all nerds, though, man. We're all like, you know, DJ nerds. It all comes down to. But yeah, the battles is tough work, man. It's really tough work. Study producers, study beats, study snares, kicks, hi-hats, tempos, patterns, you know, and not only just hip-hop music, study other music, rock music, funk, jazz, soul, country, whatever it is, study, because you pigeonhole yourself in one genre of whatever, you're really going to be boxed in, and you're really not going to be that kid that is going to be getting blessed and having opportunities.
Competing does for a DJ, it sets him apart from the DJs that he just killed in a competition. It lets everybody in front of him, everybody behind him, to the side, left to right, know that this cat is number one. Like, so if you're a battle DJ and that's what you do, you focus on it and you represent your craft to the fullest, it lets everybody know that this kid is the right here. Like, he's official, don't mess with him, his skills are to be recognized, period.
I think the competition aspect keeps a lot of DJs up on their skills, you know, honing their crafts. Because it's always been like that from day one, since Grandmaster Flash battled Grand Wizard Theodore. You know, it's like who can come up with the most creative trick or creative idea. Like, you know, Flash was the guy he was the first DJ to use 3 turntables. I mean, if you heard it on a record, you'd be like, there's no way he's doing that. But he was doing it with 3 turntables. You know, he was flashing with 3 turntables. Now, from him doing it with 3 turntables, a little kid that was listening to it thought it was 2 and learned how to do it on 2 turntables and didn't know, had no idea. So now, you know, it's like
You get this kid, he's doing it on 2, and Flash is like, wait a minute, how you do that? So it's like the competition, it always raises that level of creativity, where Theodore, he would come in there, you know, you're flashing, but he would come in with handcuffs. He'd be like, no way he's going to flash with handcuffs on. Has handcuffs on. And then he has the handcuffs on with his hands behind his back. It's like, wow, how do you do that? Like, creativity is a must. Your presentation is a must, you know, and being precise with everything you do is a must. Because when you're in a DJ competition, they looking at you. They looking for mistakes. They're not looking to see how good you are. That comes afterwards. But they looking for mistakes. You know, if you're not quick enough and you don't have enough time to do your routine, you know, all that stuff counts. So it's kind of like being a gymnast. You know, you got to hit it. You got to nail it the first time. So I think a lot of practice, a lot of dedication and focus, you know, I mean, you can be one of the best if you really put your mind into it.
I love DJ competitions because, you know, it's a way for a guy or a girl to, you know, express themselves just like they should and like they want to, just the way hip-hop is. But here's a guy or a girl that's been in their bedroom for weeks, a year, practicing, you know, learning techniques, learning tricks with 2 records, and finally they're at a competition and they get to show off what they know and what they've learned. But at the same time, it's all about an attitude. And I think being up on stage, you get to develop an attitude, and you get to develop yourself as a hip-hop performer. So battles are good, but they're stressful. You got to stay on top of your game. You got to know what everybody's doing. You got to know your opponent, basically. And you got to be ready to come at them with anything. Because you could be at a battle and somebody could call you out right there and say, you know, yo, man, I'm better than you, so why are you even here? And you got to be ready to rebuttal that. You know, you got to be ready to come back and be like, hey, well, I can do this. You know, battles are amazing. Sometimes you see the most amazing things at battles. You know, it's just like a boxing match. You know, it's exactly what it is. And who's going to win?
The MC, the rapper, the rhymer, the vocal expression of the urban life. Talking about history, politics, culture, his battles in the hood. The voice of the people to a rhythm and a beat. The MC, the urban poet of hip-hop.
The MC definitely fits in, I think, on multiple levels. You know, obviously in the sense of a party situation. I think the MC helps, you know, connect the party to the music and vice versa, and you know, to get that positive energy flowing back, you know, in a circle. And you know, when I'm out DJing, I definitely love to have an MC there to help spark the party and just keep it going. And then on another level, I think, you know, as hip-hop evolved into a commercially viable thing and music was being made and MC started stepping to the forefront, I think MCs were the voice of hip-hop. You know, they were the voice of, you know, a lot of things.
Producers are only as good as his MC. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you can give an MC a hot joint. You know what I'm saying? But if he's lacking, you know what I'm saying? Nobody listening to that beat. They're listening like, this dude's terrible. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, the beat hot, but he terrible. I'm not going to buy that. You know what I'm saying? You know, we can only do so much. You know what I'm saying? I feel like producers need to start stepping up the game and just really getting into a MC's mind pattern. You know what I'm saying? Thought pattern. You know what I'm saying? Start thinking like an MC. You know what I'm saying? So where you can actually help an MC, you know what I'm saying, in the aspect of helping them with hooks, helping them with, you know what I'm saying, things that like the Neptunes do. Like the Neptunes, like Pharrell, he's very good with that. You know what I'm saying? Pharrell makes a beat, but he don't just make a beat. Like Pharrell writes the joint, and then the MC comes and they put their thing to it. You know what I'm saying? They do it together. And I think that that's what hip hop needs to get back to also. Because a lot of times, like I know the past few years, like I know I've done it. I'm guilty of it. Doing tracks and just giving it to the, you know, MC walking out the studio, but coming back 4 hours later and the song done. You know what I'm saying? That, you know what I'm saying? That's not challenging. Like you need, you know, if you want to challenge your music and, you know, challenge the MC and take the MC to another level, being there with them, creating the records. You know what I'm saying? Make it feel like, you know, y'all are doing a joint effort. You're not just bringing your track and, oh, my track hot, so whatever, and just walking out the door. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, and I've learned a lot of that. I learned how to make hip hop records by working with Jermaine Dupri. You know what I'm saying? So, as far as how it goes, you know what I'm saying? Like JD, he don't just make a track and walk out the room. You know what I'm saying? Like we make tracks and we be in it with the MC and working it out and working it through and figuring out how. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't like that. Maybe we should say this, that, third, and really making it a song and making it a hit record. You know what I'm saying? Or making it a record that people want to hear.
The role of the MC in hip hop is to captivate, is to mystify with his words, is to have you in awe, is to have you like, no, he didn't say that. It's to make other guys say, man, I wish I would have wrote something like that or said something like that. It's to inspire, because that's why hip-hop is so great today, because the few MCs back in the day inspired generations of MCs. So the role of the MC is to captivate, mystify, and inspire.
You know, when it came out, it was just supposed to be like a little fad, like just something that kids was getting into, but like, man, it's music, man. It's rap music. I mean, it's liberation, man. It like, this what speak for, you know, the younger generation. Like, it's youthful music. That's why they can't never stop it. That's why you can't really never put your finger on it. Don't make no difference if you're black or white or whatever, you know, because all kids go through the same problem. You can't stop it, as you see. It's been here for 25, 30 years. You know, it's gonna be around. Game over. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now witnessing Rozelle, the Incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the Incredible Godfather Noise, Rozelle.
I drop in like the rain to begin mental pain. Twist your thoughts, now you lost as you start to go insane. Reality is flipped, your sanity is stripped. Your soul's getting ripped, now you wish you never tripped. What was will never be, can't trust in what you see. Vision's getting blurry as you scurry to be free. There is no escape, you're in my hands of fate. Can't resist, I exist just to twist your mind state. Lost within yourself, a maze made of mirrors. The end is getting nearer, the haze is getting clearer. Reflection disappears, so will all the tears. No protection for you here on the other side of fears. Hold your breath, kid, you're getting pulled to the depths where all things connect and all lines intersect. Hold your breath, you're getting pulled to the depths where all things connect and all lines intersect. West Coast kid, getting pulled to the depths where all things connect and all lines intersect. Argonauts kid, pulling you to the depths where all things connect. I slaughter individuals with therapeutic lyricals. Elixir for the brain, lobotomizing men's brains. Few verse I disperse with perverse ingenuity. Rhymes fall together with cosmic continuity. Chew MCs to bits when I let my water drip. Your back is slip a disc from these words I bend and twist. Contortionistic rhymes, paralyzing minds. Exerting energy to make it to the other side. In the land of confusion, abusing those intruding. Your dialect gets no respect, your head's full of delusion. Liquidated chaos, collapses mental midgets. Catch wreck with the text, this rhyme style is vicious. West Coast kid, getting pulled to the depths where all things connect and all lines intersect. Argonauts kid, pulling you to the depths where all things connect, 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 connect. Hold your breath, kid, you're getting pulled to the depths where all things connect and all lines intersect. Hold your breath, you're getting pulled to the depths where all things connect and all lines intersect. Throwing mental grenades with the heat, you'll get sprayed. Got a hat full of tactical raps used to invade. The raid has begun, don't think twice, better run. Giving you a dose that disposes like a gun. Locked and loaded, can't control it as I mold it. Brains get unfolded, acid rain leaves you scolded. You can't hold it, fluid overflows, decompose. I write the rhymes that'll leave your wax style exposed. Blowing out your spot with the bombs that I drop. Devastate you with the vapor, fluids getting hot. Arguing out a thought, you're shot but you miss. Tell me who truly got a gift, what is this? Hold your breath, kid, you're getting pulled to the depths where all things connect and all lines intersect. Hold your breath, you're getting pulled to the depths where all things connect and all lines intersect. West Coast kid, getting pulled to the depths where all things connect and all lines intersect. Argonauts kid, pulling you to the depths where all things connect. Hold your breath, kid, you're getting pulled to the depths where all things connect and all lines intersect. Hold your breath, you're getting pulled to the depths where all things connect and all lines intersect. West Coast kid, getting pulled to the depths where all things connect, 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 connect.
My crews get fresh and gets Bismarck type respect. Listen, this is the new but not the new edition.
See, it's self-explanatory. The street corner ethic is to stay starving. Get up in the game and stay started. It's out of control. It's like A's, you out of control. But I'm like, nah, I gotta get mine just like you gotta get yours.
Smoke, drink cores, backstage at shows on tours. With chicks on all fours on floors, locking the door. Or back at the lab, creating lyrics and tracks. I only speak the facts like most of platinum cats.
To all your felonious acts with racks, with felonious tracks. I swing my axe verbally to get your cranium cracked. We laying them flat, laying the facts with classic material. Ceremonial, ageless, imperial. Scripts flip, music a massacre. I mastered the art. Microphone flame, torture chamber theme to a holocaust. World War radio anthem. For now, at it. My automatic spray shots rapid, you'll get tatted.
Stay balanced, but battle for my squad at all costs. Got 6-speed flows, Tiptronic with dual exhaust. And it's all for the cause, like it's one for all for for one. Run your gold chain, music is where we from.
From planet Asia, evidence.
Represent with J-Rock and the Bad Brothers,
Gold chain. We got top-notch compression and slam, vocal enhancement, description of equations, but never reveal the answer. I'll only lead you to clues that lead to more clues after it. Exactly accurate. A party, we crash
This
it.
is fact, eat classic. Hip-hop's passionate, thrashing it. We get on the track, spit, cause accidents from behind the soundproof booth. It gets done, I choose your weapon. Cause now it's time to rep where you from.
Pistol grip pump, my main objective, beats that thump. Live life in shadows like I live for the funk. Saturdays I got off, shot for new kicks and hats. So you can find me at my trash, throwing out promotional wax.
You catch me with the breeze, smoking trees. I travel with the mental, contemplating war on my enemies. Me and my super friends, a group of men. Superhuman mutants, part 1, part 2's the family reunion.
Doing them in, begin, no time for runners up. 2002 Amsterdam cannabis cup. Yo, going for broke, open off choke, lung expansion on tangents till played out, abandoned, built on opposites. The triple beam is balanced. The meditation of Buddhists with the temper of Italians. Flow for gallons. Live on paid preview and tell the truth with no fear. It's right here. My crews get fresh and gets Bismarck type respect. Listen, this is the new but not the new edition.
See, it's self-explanatory. The street corner ethic is to stay starving. Get up in the game and stay started. It's out of control. It's like age, you out of control. But I'm like, nah, I gotta get mine just like you gotta get yours.
Smoke, drink cores, backstage at shows on tours. With chicks on all fours on floors, locking the door. Or back at the lab, creating lyrics and tracks. I only speak the facts like most of them platinum cats.
For all you felonious acts with racks, with felonious tracks, I swing my axe verbally to get your cranium cracked. We laying them flat, laying the facts with classic material, ceremonial, ageless, imperial. Scripts flip, music a massacre, I mastered the art. Microphone flame, torture chamber theme to a holocaust. World War radio anthem, for now at it. My automatic spray shots rapid, you'll get tatted.
Stay balanced, but battle for my squad at all costs. Got 6-speed flows, Tiptronic with dual exhaust. And it's all for the cause, like it's one for all for one. Run your gold chain, music is where we from.
From planet Asia, evidence.
Represent with J-Rock and the Bad Brothers,
Gold chain.
We got top-notch compression and slam, vocal enhancement, description of equations, but never reveal the answer. I'll only lead you to clues that lead to more clues after it. Exactly accurate. A party, we crash
This
it.
is fact, eat classic. Hip-hop's passionate, thrashing it. We get on the track, spit, cause accidents from behind the soundproof booth. It gets done, I choose your weapon. Cause now it's time to rep where you from.
Pistol grip pump, my main objective, beats that thump. Live life in shadows like I live for the funk. Saturdays I got off, shot for new kicks and hats. So you can find me at my trash, throwing out promotional wax.
You catch me with the breeze, smoking trees. I travel with the mental, contemplating war on my enemies. Me and my super friends, a group of men. Superhuman mutants, part 1, part 2's the family reunion.
Doing them in, begin, no time for runners up. 2002 Amsterdam cannabis cup. Yo, going for broke, open off choke, lung expansion on tangents till played out, a bandit. Built on opposites, the triple beam is balanced. The meditation of Buddhists with the temper of Italians. Flow for gallons. Live on pay preview and tell the truth with no fear. It's right here.
Three, two, one. Ignition. Blast off. One. Hit me. Cutting and scratching. Cut the record down to the bone. Cutting and scratching. Cut the record down to the bone. Cutting and scratching. Cut the record down to the bone. Cutting and scratching. Cutting and scratching. Cut the record down to the bone. Cutting and scratching. Cut the record down to the bone. Cutting and scratching. JS1.
He's the best DJ. Cutting and scratching.
Rozelle and JS1.
He's the best DJ. Cutting and scratching. Cutting and scratching. Cut the record down to the bone. Cutting and scratching. Cut the record down to the bone. Cutting and scratching. Cutting and scratching. Cut the record down to the bone. Cutting and scratching. Cut the record down to the bone. Cutting and scratching. Cutting and scratching. Cut the record down to the bone. Cutting and scratching. Cut the record down to the bone. Cutting and scratching. Cut the record down to the bone. Cutting and scratching. Cutting and scratching.
Rozelle and JS1.
I live a double standard, a cage bird never captured. Walking a fine line between miracle and disaster. Streets of steel and concrete are the pastures. Beasts with the skill and bomb beats are the masters. Motivating instead of waiting, times are changing. And your punk ass is still at the shore debating. Wake up, it's a new school days, a new trail being blazed, a new hell being raised. They fell by the waist and we prevail for the praise. The time has come today, better fight to run away. We're here to hold it down, yard by yard gaining ground. Argonauts got precision, crushing with a style. Are you there at the crossroads of the mind? Between a rock and a hard place, running out of time. Asking why the light at the end of the tunnel shines. Not looking at yourself cause you're afraid of what you'll find. My hypocritical, catch 22. I love you, I hate you, my mind is stuck between the two. Human behavior, sadistic, masochistic. Ever since the beginning, war and peace have contradicted. I stay addicted, I was born inflicted. I have sworn to kick it, blood in, blood out till I get it. Props to grab, after blowing out your spot. Percival retrieved the Holy Grail to help save Camelot. And John Glenn, he couldn't have been the first cosmonaut. We humans know so much, but damn sure forgot a lot. But we keep climbing and we keep falling. Rocking and rolling, going to war and still balling. Are you there at the crossroads of the mind? Between a rock and a hard place, running out of time. Asking why the light at the end of the tunnel shines. Not looking at yourself cause you're afraid of what you'll find. This is life, nobody's getting out alive. When it's all over, no mortal will survive. No way of escaping the all-seeing eye. Investigating, penetrating beyond your disguise, yeah. You can front, you can lie, and you can cheat. The truth is that your flows ain't synchronized with them beats. I'm a manic bandit, making trails through the jungle. Verbal antics, a habit, smashing it hard to make it crumble. The ever-learning analyst, ever-burning catalyst. Highly destructive pacifist, gab a gift. Are you watching this? Puzzle pieces interlocking, suckers talking, chitter chatter, cadavers ready for the chalking. Are you there at the crossroads of the mind? Between a rock and a hard place, running out of time. Asking why the light at the end of the tunnel shines. Not looking at yourself cause you're afraid of what you'll find. We out of control, got no signs of caution. Rolling boulders in motion, we got your head knocking. Stomping, bebopping, concocting, ain't stopping. The devil shops for your soul for a fraction of the costing. My name is fluid, connected to the eternal. Love me not, we battle for the life circle. And them, they got feeble styles, but ain't nobody perfect. Chumps get crushed, we evolve for a stronger purpose. This form of service gets the proper feedback. Argonauts attack, systems collapse, falling down, going splat. We ain't turning back, missiles ready for the launching. Breaking down the walls of this maze we lost in. Are you there at the crossroads of the mind? Between a rock and a hard place, running out of time. Asking why the light at the end of the tunnel shines. Not looking at yourself cause you're afraid of what you'll find.